Mr. Zachary, my name is Max Schardt, and I represent Shannon Stillwell. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Maybe pull it towards you. It's on. It says it's on.
Try that again. Mr. Zachary, my name is Max Schardt. I represent Shannon Stillwell. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Okay, it's nice to meet you. We've never spoken before in our lives, have we?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Zachary, let's talk about yesterday. Okay. You weren't feeling well yesterday?
Still not.
Okay. You're not in the mood to testify, are you?
Never was.
Okay. Now, do you recall yesterday repeatedly saying, I don't know, and I don't recall?
Yes.
Okay, let's be real. When you said, I don't know, and I don't recall to some of those questions, that wasn't the truth, was it?
No.
Okay.
Overruled.
That wasn't the truth, was it?
Nah.
Okay. Mr. Zachary, when the state asked you if you know what a gang is, and you said you don't know, that was not the truth. You do, in fact, know what a gang is, correct?
I know, like, what I heard is
Okay. When the state asked you if you know where about TIG Studios, and you said you don't remember, that wasn't true, was it? You do know TIG Studios, correct?
no, I don't remember that for real.
You don't know where TIG Studios are.
No, I don't remember that for real.
When the state asked you if you remember the night that Kenneth Copeland got jumped at Club Crucial, and you said you don't recall, that was not true, was it? You do recall that night, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. When the state asked you if you know what a trap house is, and you said you don't know what a trap house is or a trap is, that was a lie, correct?
Yes.
You know what a trap is.
Yes.
Okay. When the state asked you about being at, and I'm not saying at a particular time, being at Jeffrey Williams' condo at all that night going into the morning, whenever it was, and you said you don't even remember being there, that wasn't true, was it?
Can I answer and explain?
You can always answer
Yes.
and explain.
I don't remember being on that night, but I remember like probably early that morning, like probably 5, 6, something like that.
Okay, of course, because you went to Miami from Jeffrey Williams' studio, right? That next morning.
By 7 in the morning, something like that. Yeah.
Right, so you had to have been there at some point, correct?
I told y'all in the morning. I had told her that I had some in the morning.
Okay. All right, and when you were asked about some of the statements you made in 2015, you started saying, I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall. I'm not saying you remember everything, but you do remember some things from those statements, correct?
Yes, I remember some things.
Okay. The reality is, you don't want to talk about the things you said in 2015. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. In 2015, you lied on other people to get yourself out of trouble, didn't you?
I told her that.
Okay, but those lies are the very things that you don't really want to talk about here today. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand that this trial is important for these gentlemen back here.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay. We're not going to have the I don't recall routine today, are we?
I've been asking questions today, and if I don't remember, I'm gonna let you know I don't remember.
I appreciate that. Okay. Let's start with this. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Zachary, I'm handing you a document marked DS-44. Do you recognize who's in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize that document?
What you mean recognize it? Like saw it before?
Well, have you seen the picture before?
Nah, I don't remember.
Did you take that picture?
I probably did, but I'm saying I don't remember.
Okay, did you tell the police back in 2015 you took that picture?
Yes, I think.
Okay. And the person in that picture, is that a fair and accurate representation of that person?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-44 in evidence.
Your Honor, if I could just see the caption, and I don't mind the
Sure.
rest of the picture, so.
She want to see if the contemplating caption is there. This is the picture that Gaither supposedly hovered
No
over to get the
objection. All right,
January
so
10th
another-
date.
Thank you. Mr. Kokomo, could you please publish DS-44 for the jury? Okay. Who is in that picture?
Shannon.
Is that Shannon Stillwell?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall when that picture was taken?
I told you I don't remember when it was taken, like, but I think I remember the picture. I don't remember when it was what exact day it was taken.
Okay, when did you see
I
the
remember
picture?
I think I remember what year it was taken.
What year?
It had to be late 14 or 15.
Late 14, early 15? Is that what or are you
Yes.
saying late 14 or late 15?
Late 14, early 15 probably.
Okay. Could it have been taken in January of 2015?
I said early
I understand. Okay. Do you see the caption on the photo?
You might have
mean-
to show him the,
Nah, I see it.
You see that there's
I
a
had already
caption?
saw the caption.
Okay. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, Mr. Zachary. I'm honestly asking you a question. Okay. When you were saying that you couldn't read, is that true, or was that something you were saying out of frustration yesterday?
Nah, I have trouble reading and writing for real.
Okay. Can you read that caption? And if you can't, it's okay. If I read it, would you be able to tell me if I'm reading it accurately? Okay.
okay, it's zoomed in more. Can you
No, I
read that?
can't.
Okay.
I can't read.
All right. If I read it, would you be able to tell me if I'm being accurate?
I mean, how would I know?
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. What hairstyle, if you could zoom out again, Mr. Kokomo,
Not dreads.
what hairstyle does Mr. Stillwell have in that?
Put a 1
picture?
in the chat if you see
Is it a
dreads.
short hairstyle?
Look like mine.
Put a 2
yeah.
if there's no
Okay.
dreads.
And let me ask you this. When you were saying yesterday when you were frustrated that you couldn't see back here, was that true? Do you have trouble seeing distances?
I told. Yes, and if they would have did all this research before they started asking me, they would have saw all these problems I had.
Okay. And I understand. I guess my question is, can you see Shannon right now?
Mm.
Okay. Are you aware that today Shannon Stillwell has dreadlocks?
I haven't saw Shannon and probably
Hang on just a minute. About the dreads? He said no, he can't, right? Isn't that what he said?
He did.
And your,
I'm just trying to see if the mic could get any closer, but not really. Can you just try to talk into it so everybody can hear you?
So you don't know what Shannon's hairstyle is today?
I haven't saw Shannon in like 10 years.
Okay.
Like 2015, I've been locked up.
Okay. So let me just ask you this. In 2015, throughout 2015, all the time you've known Shannon, has Shannon always had short hair?
Yes.
Okay. And all those pictures that the state showed you earlier today with Shannon in them, all those pictures showed Shannon with short hair, correct?
The pictures of that they showed me with him in, yeah.
They all showed him with short hair.
Yes.
In 2015, Shannon had short hair.
Yes.
And the truth is, he was also a bit skinnier than he is now too, correct?
I can't. He was skinny then.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Now, let's talk about what was going on with you on August 5th, 2015, when you met with Investigator Gaither. Okay. As I understand it, on July 28th, 2015, you were arrested on a warrant, correct? You have to answer out loud.
Yes.
Thank you. And you were arrested on a warrant for the April 28th, 2015 incident where houses were shot up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the facts of that case, let's go through it. Damekion Garlington gets jumped at Club Crucial,
Yes.
okay? Summer Good, who's your girlfriend at the time, and Alexis Bryant, who's your cousin, are also at Club Crucial,
Yes.
okay? And your cousin, Alexis Bryant, at that time was dating a man named Trevante Turner, also known as Threat.
Yes.
Okay. There was a fight involving Damekion, and that fight led to threats against Summer and Alexis.
It led against who?
Summer, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Your girlfriend, SG, and Alexis.
You said it led against them?
It led to threats. They felt threatened.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And you were alerted to this.
I think I told them that, yes.
Right. Antonio Sledge shows up in his car at the house that you were at.
Yes.
You didn't go to the club that night.
No.
Okay. And Damekion Garlington is in the car with Sledge.
Yes.
Okay. Sledge is drunk?
I was in and out of it at night. I don't know if I was on Xanax.
Okay, so you were high. Do you have an opinion from seeing Garlington if he was drunk and high?
Like I can't tell how they modes, because I was like, if you know Xanax, you'll be out 1 minute, then back up.
The bottom line, Garlington was upset that he had been jumped in the club, correct?
I mean, yes.
Okay. You grabbed handguns, correct? Or when I say handguns, I mean firearms. Just put it like that.
Yes.
Okay. You hopped in the car with Sledge and Garlington,
Yes.
and you went to Alexis Bryant's house where SG was, correct?
Yes, I think I told y'all that.
We're just reviewing,
Yes.
okay? And you went there because you wanted to protect her, because she was your girlfriend,
And cousin that was there too.
and your cousin was there too. All right. And Sledge, who's driving the car, correct?
Yes.
He's someone that you have known since you are little, since you were a baby.
Yes.
Okay. And you and Sledge have a special relationship because neither of you are from Cleveland Avenue. Correct? You weren't raised there.
I was raised there. Yes.
You were raised in Cleveland?
Yes.
Well, you were born where?
Capitol Home.
Capitol Homes. And that's where you know Sledge from.
Yes.
So your early years were in Capitol Homes, correct?
To like 5. Yeah.
Okay. But that's how you know Sledge.
Yeah.
Because he knows your father from Capitol Homes.
Yes.
Okay. You've known Sledge the longest?
Yes.
You're most loyal to Sledge?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarification about when he says most, is that relative to whom? Everybody in the world or just a certain set of people? So vagueness, objection. Ask for clarification.
Should I clarify?
I'll move on. you're most loyal to yourself in reality, right?
Yeah, of course.
So the three of you drive to Alexis Bryant's address on Landrum, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you see people shooting from a car, or at least you see the car, and you see shots being fired at the house where Alexis Bryant and your girlfriend SG are, correct?
Yes, I think I said that, yeah.
We're just reviewing.
Okay.
Okay. And that upset you.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
And you and Damekion was already upset.
I mean, he got jumped on, so pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. And the two of you decided to get revenge on the people that were doing this to your girlfriend and your cousin, correct?
He say ex-girlfriend, but yes.
Ex-girlfriend, I'm sorry. A girlfriend at the time.
Yes.
All right. So you went to two houses, one on Adele, one on Drew Drive, correct?
I don't remember the streets.
Okay, that's fair. You went to two houses
Yes.
after Landrum.
Or are you gonna say something else? You may.
I think from what it was a house and an apartment or something like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. And you and Damekion fired at the house and the apartment.
I told him, yes.
And one of the guns that was used was a gun that belonged to Mr. Sledge, correct?
No, it belonged to me. I just told them it was Sledge. I got caught with it.
Okay. So it belonged, you're saying?
Matter of fact, I didn't even tell them it was Sledge gun. They told me it was.
Okay. All right. So you're saying it was your gun,
I mean, it
not
was,
Sledge's.
I was in my possession.
Okay. I hear you. Well,
I-
that's my
I-
next question. That gun, whether it was yours or Sledge's, you were arrested with it on May 7th, 2015, when you were driving around with Summer.
I think I thought it was May the 5th. I remember I told you I woke up 2 days later in intake, so they probably booked me in May the 7th. I don't
Okay.
remember.
So May the 5th or 7th, we'll just say the first week of May.
Yes.
About either 7 or 9 days after this shooting, you are arrested with that gun.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Zachary, do you recognize what's in that picture?
Yes. Yes.
Is it a firearm?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of the firearm that you know, that you know of?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-48 into evidence.
Admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Mr. Kokomo, if you would put on DS-48 for me.
What are you guys thinking so far of Cross?
Okay. Is that the gun that you were arrested with on May 7th or May 5th or May 7th, 2015?
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay, is that a double barrel?
Huh?
Is that a double barrel shotgun or a double barrel gun with a banana clip?
That's one, but that's not the gun I got caught with.
Okay, that's not the gun you got caught with.
No.
Describe the gun you got caught with.
It was like short. It was, I think, gray and black. It was about that size though, but
It was about that size.
look probably a little bit shorter.
Did it have a clip like that?
Yes.
Okay. And was it fully automatic, semi-automatic?
It was, semi, I think. I don't know the diff.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're approaching. It sounded like Steele asked to approach. And we won't add that to the counter because I'm really trying to count states' objections and sustains for defense cross. So Steele is ready. Steele is ready. Oh. Okay, well that looked harsh even though we couldn't hear it. But okay. I mean, thank you, Stephanie Lane, for the cute smiley picture sticker. Touche says, listening in and out from the bushes. You'll be missed, Touche. Shout out to Max Schardt for showing love how it's really done. Yeah, and you guys mostly in the chat are saying you either like his approach or you're not sure of what the approach is, but it seems to be the consensus that we can follow a storyline. We can see the order of events the way that Schardt is asking his questions, which is extremely helpful. I also liked you guys joking that Love is writing down the questions to ask them on her redirect. Very funny, you guys. Rebecca, Get It and Go, says, if I hang out with a couple friends and one is notorious for getting in trouble, Georgia will file a RICO. That's how low they set the bar. And that's really, like, especially the way that Love ended direct and passed the witness. It's like she set the bar to that height, down low, and said, all right, I'm going to pass it. Like, okay. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I think that a lot of the stuff that maybe it happened, and maybe it was some of the names we're hearing that did the thing that we're hearing about. But how is it YSL? How is it to further the conspiracy? I just don't see those elements. I'm with you, Rebecca, and I also love the Get It and Go. Also, thank you for the $1.99. Thank you for your support. Red T became a member. Be careful now about Red. You know how they do. All this RICO. Black Butterfly says, Love's about to be in deep doo-doo for that gun picture. Oh, we got a squeak.
Mr. Sharp.
Your Honor, just for the record, as Mr. Zachary has not identified DS-48 as the gun that was used on April 28th, I would move to remove this exhibit from evidence, and I withdraw this exhibit.
All right.
And that's DS-48.
Yes, 48 is no longer in evidence. It's
Thank you.
withdrawn.
Thank you. Okay. So regardless of which gun it was, the gun that you were arrested with on May 7th or May 5th was used on April 28th.
Yes.
Okay. And you were aware that the shell casings for that gun would come back to that crime scene.
Objection calls for speculation.
You were aware that that gun left shell casings on the scene.
Objection, that would call for speculation too, unless
If you know.
I mean, you and Damekion were shooting the guns.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yes.
Okay, and you were aware that the shell casings would be on the scene.
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarification as to which scene he's talking about. There were two.
Okay, both scenes from April 28th.
See, I didn't know anything about shell casing until I got locked up with the gun, and they said that preliminary hearing with all on. I mean, about the shell case.
Okay, well, and thank you for bringing that up. That preliminary hearing where you learned about the link in the shell casings, that was prior to the August 5th, 2015 statement you gave, correct?
Yes.
So you knew that information going into the day that you gave the statement.
I think I said that. Yes.
I understand. Okay, well, let's be clear. You remember, I believe it was on Friday, where the state was asking you questions about this incident?
I was on someone else on Friday. I really didn't.
Okay, well, do you remember when the state was asking about who you were closest to and brought up Shannon's name?
Yeah, I think I remember that. But I thought it was yesterday.
It may have
Or
been
the day-
yesterday.
I don't know.
Days are running together, but let me be clear. You remember when the state started using the words they and those people? You remember that?
Yes,
And you remember when I objected?
yes.
You remember when I asked the state to clarify who they were
I'm going
talking
to
about?
object as to the reference to what Mr. Schardt did and said, and ask that if he has a question about that day or night, that
I'm
he
getting
ask that question.
Just focus, I think he's trying to focus his attention on it, but we'll go ahead and get to.
Remember
what
when
you
I
were
asked Miss
asking.
Love to clarify who they was and those people were?
Yes.
And remember she wouldn't?
Your Honor, I'm
Um,
going to
That's
say that it's not.
appropriate.
Okay, well, let's be clear. When you were saying yes to those questions about they and those people, you were not talking about Shannon.
No, I thought you were talking about Garlington and Sled.
Right. Your testimony here today under oath is Shannon was not there at all on April 28, 2015.
I told them that, but yes.
All right, and let me ask you one other thing. Trontavious Stevens is a shorter guy with dreadlocks, right?
I ain't saw him, and I've been locked up like.
Okay, back in
summer-
2015?
Yes.
Okay.
Oops.
And if someone, like, say, a DA suggested that Trontavious Stevens was
Objection, Your
there,
Honor. That would call for speculation, and it's an improper question. If someone said, like a DA,
Sustained.
was Trontavious Stevens there
Well,
on April 28, 2015?
nah.
All right. Have you ever heard anyone even suggest that he was there
objection,
before?
Your Honor, relevance to that question.
Sustained.
All right. Let's talk about your charges from April 28, 2015, okay?
Big shout out to Jakey Grandpa for gifting 5 in the chat. And also said, much more love and I'm buying another TV. Heck yeah. Rock it up. Get an extra gaming monitor on a giant TV.
Based on what Mr. Sharp has provided, we would probably need to approach before this is
Okay.
discussed.
Y'all good over there, jurors? Anybody need a break? You want to just sit there while we talk about this? Everybody seems good. Okay.
Zachary is up out of there. All right, so they are approaching. Thank you again to Janky Grandpa. I love to say Janky Grandpa. I always love good usernames. You guys are great with your usernames on here. Just like Chicken Shite says, remember the good old days when Thug was described as a large woman with big boobs. This is so lame in comparison. Yeah. That was a funny day to watch too back in the day. But I think even though we had the sustained objections right there, I think with the questions alone, Schart's question landed. We know that he asked, did Shannon Stillwell in 2015 have dreads? No. Well, did Tick have dreads in 2015? Yeah. So even though we had objections sustained there, that's what you really needed the jury to hear. He got it out there. So see if the jury picks up what Schardt is putting down or trying to put down. But yeah, I'm with you there, Chicken Shite. Great throwback there. I'm That Queen 409 gifted 5 memberships. Super nice of you to do. Show I'm That Queen 409 some love. Love the new picture too. You look so pretty. I gotta update my banner too. And I'm so rude. A girl gifts something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your picture. And if it's a guy, I'm like, just reading their name. That's how it goes. And that is super awesome. We just hit 50 new members today. Okay, so the banner's updated. And again, let me clarify that this objection sustained counter, I am trying to track objections from the state. So that one with Steele asking to approach wasn't included in there. And if something like clarify that, or, if the judge says something and isn't explicitly the word sustained, but it's an instruction for the defense to clean up the question, I'm counting that as sustained because the judge is really agreeing and obliging by the state's objection. So it's not a perfect counter, but it's there. And thank you again, I'm that queen. Sheeny Beanie says this is so off topic, but I've heard Damekion, Lil D, Sledge so often that now I feel like I know them all personally. Well, hopefully the jury also feels the same. Maybe not knowing them personally, but if you feel like you know them personally, I think that makes it easier to track the details of what the jury is supposed to be looking at. So I think this is actually a good thing. So I know you're saying it humorously, but I think it means that we can follow the story a little bit by now. So thank you so much, Sheeny Beanie. Recused Judge Glanville says, can a non-biased judge request a Mr. Bots emoji? A Mr. Bots emoji would be great because he's kind of like the Easter egg. We don't get to hear from him much at all. And, you know, when he's pointed out in court, it's usually a witness trying to identify, oh, you know, the one sitting next to the old man with the white hair, right? That's like the nod that he gets. But shout out to Mr. Bots. Shout out to Mr. Bots. If we can get a good picture of him, we can do that. Keratin Matthews is kind of the same issue. The picture I can find of him when I Google him, it's older. It doesn't have the silver fox beard. So we could try to get one from a still in court. But I would love that, a Mr. Bots emoji. Shout out to recused Judge Glanville, another great name here on YouTube. Kathy says, this case exists only because a record label shares a name with a local street gang. If the label had a different name, he wouldn't be pulled into the rest of this, and there would be no RICO. And you know what I think is difficult is this is a possibility, right? It could be two separate moving parts. The state wants to say it's one and of the same. I think there's a third possibility that a lot of these witnesses make more plausible. YSL is not a gang, it's a record label. There is no two, it's just one. So Kathy, I think you're right. And I think the state needs to really make their case for their theory of what YSL is in terms of being a gang. And let's see if we get this exhibit in.
Go ahead, Mr. Short.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Zachary. So, on January 28th, 2015, you were arrested on warrants. We already talked about that.
You said on April 20, 2015?
On July 28th, 2015, you were arrested on warrants from April 28th, 2015, correct?
It was late July. Yeah, it was late July.
And for those actions, for that incident on April 28th, 2015, you faced aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against Cecilia Davis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you faced, and that carries 1 to 20 years, correct?
As to objection as to the relevance of what
Overruled.
Aggravated assault
Your
with a
Honor,
deadly weapon carries 1 to
Hang
20.
on, she may have another one.
my objection is what I spoke at the bench with respect to the documents that are being sort of fanned about.
I understand the objection,
I'm-
as
okay.
does Mr. Short.
Okay.
Understand the ruling. Excuse me.
That aggravated assault on Cecilia Davis carries 1 to 20 years, correct? Carried 1 to 20 years?
I think all of it looked like 189 years, something like that.
Okay, we'll get there. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against Diamond Wells.
I don't really know their names. I know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You do know that you were facing, let's see, you were facing 2 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
I thought it was more than 2.
Okay,
Yes.
you know what, you're right, 3.
Thought it was more than 3.
Aggravated battery against Denise Bell, the lady that was shot.
That's her name?
Yes. You had criminal damage to property charges, correct?
Yes.
You had gang act violation charges, correct?
Yes.
And you had possession of a firearm during commission of a felony charges, 2 of those,
Yes.
okay? And all in all, to your understanding, as you prepared to go speak to the police on August 5th, how much time did you believe you were facing?
I think they said like 189 years.
189 years?
Yeah.
Okay. From July 28th, or whatever day you were arrested in at the end of July, to August 5th, the time you gave your statement, you were held without bond, correct?
Yes.
You didn't have a bond.
Yeah. I ain't had no bond.
Okay. And you were being held in Rice Street.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not going to go through everything about Rice Street, but is Rice Street a place you wanted to be?
No.
Okay. And I'm not going to get into your medical history, but you have specific medical concerns, correct?
A lot of them.
Okay. Is that a place that you feel would give you treatment, appropriate treatment for your medical needs, Rice Street?
Nah, I almost died in there with like 2-3 times.
You wanted out of Rice Street, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Kokomo, could you, with the court's approval, Mr. Kokomo, could you approach, Mr. Kokomo approach the witness and show him a screenshot
Yes.
on the computer?
Are you going to print it out ultimately?
It's
or-
on the computer. It's part of an exhibit,
Oh, it's.
but we don't want to publish it until
Okay,
we lay a foundation.
okay.
Start getting ahead of the impending objection from the state on the foundation. I do think they approached and the objection was sustained for the state, but just lay more foundation.
Oh,
Because Love said he still has that thing we objected to waving in his hand. And Judge was like, well, he knows what he needs to do. He understands the objection. So I think all of that was just to lay foundation, and we're getting there. And for anyone not looking at the screen that would like to look at the screen, I know you guys love a Kokomo sighting. And there is a Kokomo emoji. And I forget what his ex was, but you guys tagged me this weekend.
Did you give him a chance to look? No, but did you give him a chance to look? Okay. Did you have an adequate chance to look at what was on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Did you recognize the people on the screen?
I recognize me.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you, was that you from August 5th of 2015 in the interview room?
Looked alike, yeah.
Okay. No, we're good. We're good. Thank you. Your Honor, at this point, I would move to admit DS 41F, which is a portion of the August 5th, 2015 interview from evidence reviewer time 2.
Your Honor, I just saw a screenshot. If Mr. Schardt would just let me know before announcing what it is so that I didn't see a video, I saw a screenshot. He told me it was a screenshot.
Is it going to be just a screenshot or is it
No,
going to be a
the
portion of
screenshot
the?
was to
Okay, but what you want
From-
to admit in,
2/12/29 to 2/13/35.
does that tell you what you need or do you need to see it?
It's
No, I'd like to
things.
see it, Your Honor,
Okay.
and I know.
All right, you know what? Let's take a bathroom break. We'll let them review this
Already?
while y'all are out.
Hold on, wait.